And now here's Story Time with Scary Gary.
Good evening, patrons of all things scary. I'm your host, Scary Gary. And tonight, I would like to talk with you about Ouija boards. I think we've all got stories about Ouija boards, for those of us who are in the know. One comes to mind that I recently was hearing about. Two girls decided that they were going to take the Ouija board seriously, that it was really, truly no game, and that they could learn things about themselves and their future by inquiring. So they went into a dark room, they had their Ouija board out, they lit a candle. They wanted the atmosphere to be perfect. So upon lighting the candle, they placed their hands on the planchette, got all their giggles out of the way, and decided, okay, seriously now, we're going to ask our question. They asked a question, which I'm not at liberty to reveal at this time, but suffice it to say that the question turned out to be moot. While they were waiting for the planchette to move, suddenly it didn't. But the candle itself that they had lit went right over. Immediately the session was ended. They were too affrighted to do anything but scream and run. And again, I recall another story about a Ouija board. This one was up in Massachusetts at Lizzie Borden's house. If you recall Lizzie Borden, it's now a bed and breakfast. And as most bed and breakfasts are likely to have, there are games around in the common room. And in this bed and breakfast, there is a Ouija board. Now, there was a couple that was staying there, and they decided they were going to take the Ouija board. They wanted it as a little keepsake from their adventure staying in Lizzie Borden's house. So when the owner of the house later discovered the Ouija board was gone, she was a little, upset about it, but these things happen, and she decided, well, we'll let it go. I mean, I think someone had brought the Ouija board there to begin with. So everything went as custom in a bed and breakfast until about a week later, suddenly, the Ouija board returned. There was no address. It returned by the mail. So the owner said, She opened the Ouija board, the package that it was in, and there was a note with one simple thing written: make it stop. So the owner was a little tickled by that. I mean, after all, she stays in Lizzie Borden's house. But it's probably a good thing to think about this, sort of a moral to the story. Yes, the Ouija board is out there as a game, and a lot of people play it that way. But if you really decide you're going to take it serious, you may want to consider that there can possibly be consequences. But so what? You're watching this because you like scary things, am I correct? And if so, well, by all means, break that Ouija board out. And if you do have a significant experience with your Ouija board, please let me know, because you know I'm always interested in these things. Thank you. Have a very good evening.